shift bell in the clinic, of ringing that bell. And that's a happy day. And we experienced that back in June. And it was one of the greatest gifts that God has presented to our family. You've just heard this amazing journey that Addison and our family have gone through. But to be very honest, true happiness actually involves the simplicity of making the journey with just enough baggage. And it's this happiness that I'd like to talk to you about now. You see, happiness cannot be traveled to, it can't be owned, it can't be earned or worn or consumed. Happiness is the spiritual experience of living every minute with love, grace, and gratitude. If you observe a really happy man, you'll find him doing something that he really likes, like building a boat, or writing a symphony, or educating his son. He won't be searching for happiness like it's a little collar button that rolled under the bed, trying to find it in the minutiae of the details. But the greatest possession that we actually have does not cost us anything. It's known as love. Each and every day, we all try to make sense out of what life is. Nobody has ever completely succeeded. There's only one universal in our collective attempts to make sense of this mystery of life. And it's that everyone must, at some point, take a leap of faith. The quality of your future depends on the quality of your faith. It's a faith that's firm and alive and will usher you into a spectacular life. Consider that throughout all of history, Jesus has stood out. His wisdom was completely unconventional in every way. He said that a man's life is no better than the foundation upon which it is built. He said to forgive one another. He preached radical selflessness. He told us to love one another, and he offered us eternal life. Jesus knew that the world would certainly impugn every man's faith in him. He was right. He has challenged us to ignore that, however, and consider him the bridge of faith to a complete and nourishing life. This is the road less traveled. We're all faced with a series of great opportunities brilliantly designed as impossible situations. And that's what Addison and Caitlin and everybody that's gone through this has experienced. Great opportunities brilliantly disguised as impossible situations. Here's an example. In March of 2009, a beautiful girl who at the time was 13 years old was diagnosed with Burkitt's lymphoma, named after a physician who's a surgeon in the equatorial area of Africa where he first discovered it back in the 50s. After 5 months of intensive chemotherapy, her cancer was gone, and she's currently cancer-free. But while going through those treatments, someone had the idea to give her a netbook computer so she could stay in touch with her family and friends during those very dark and difficult times that her immune system prevented her from physically being around anyone. For anyone going through chemotherapy and cancer, that's a very real, intense fear. From that one simple act of kindness, this beautiful angel inspired to do the same for as many other kids going through the same thing. And Caitlin sits here before us today with the pride of that inspiration very much alive. And God bless you for that, Caitlin. You know, pediatric cancer affects thousands of children and families nationwide. The disease not only changes a child's life, but also challenges parents, siblings, and relatives to cope with the life-threatening illness that provides untold emotional turmoil. According to the National Cancer Institute, cancer is the leading cause of death by disease among U.S. children ages 1 to 14. In addition to the wonderful cause that Keep Kids Connected provides for pediatric cancer patients, there are numerous additional avenues which provide synergistic support and perhaps you can turn to and support as well. Organizations such as Have a Heart, Children's Cancer Society, Cure, Childhood Cancer Foundation, Alex's Lemonade Stand Foundation for Childhood Cancer, named for Alexandra Scott, who was diagnosed with cancer just before her first birthday. At age 4, she told her parents she wanted to set up a front yard lemonade stand and give the money to the doctors to help them find a cure. And that very first day, they walked away with $2,000. And later, it became known as Alex's Lemonade Stand Foundation for Childhood Cancer. It's an organization that honors Alex's memory today with lemonade stands around the United States. And the Pediatric Cancer Research Foundation, which since its inception now has raised over $22 million in fund research that leads to medically sound protocol for children with malignant diseases. All of these are incredible organizations, and I encourage you to explore and understand the synergy that you get from supporting those as well. The wonderful work that Val is doing in Washington, D.C. is one person pushing uphill. With the help of everybody in these foundations, there's a lot more that can be done. As a father, I dearly hope that I've given my son the greatest gift that any person could ever give someone else, and that's the gift of believing in him. Addison, I dearly, dearly love you in so many ways. You taught me that if you're going through hell, just keep going, because pain is temporary, but quitting lasts forever. It really gets down to the fact that life is not always about playing good cards. Sometimes it's about playing a poor hand well. And at the end of that, you stand humbly before the Creator of the universe, and He says to you, "Well done, thou good and faithful servant." We are Marshall. Thank you, and God bless you all.